What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Pop Culture Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because y'all know when we got the Red Cup, we're about to spill some truth. So it happened last night, something that I thought really wasn't going to happen. And that's the presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Okay? It happened. I watched it live. We did a watch party. I was on with Anton Daniels on the After Hours channel. And that is Thursdays and Fridays that I'm usually on it. But last night we did a special occasion and we did a Tuesday for the watch party. So if you guys are not subscribed to that channel, please subscribe because I'm on that channel too. But Anton is a wealth of knowledge. Great. Love it. So we were watching it and we just saw what I'm going to tell you is media bias. Media bias exists wholeheartedly in this election and every time with Donald Trump. Okay. If it has Donald Trump on it, it actually is going to be biased. And honestly, I expect it. And I know Donald Trump expected it, right? So that's fine. But last night, he wasn't able to say anything without them fact checking him. All right. So that leads me to my opening shots. And if you don't know what shots is, it's a segment in every live stream I do. We take something small and we just touch on it a little bit. So we call it shots. All right. So I want to play this video that talks about the bias that everybody saw. And I don't care if you are for Kamala. You had to see the bias. And if you didn't, you just don't want to see it. It is what it is.
The US presidential debate was touted as being between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. But many commentators are saying the real debate was Trump v. Harris and the ABC moderators David Muir and Lindsay Davis. Here are 5 moments the biased moderators turned on Trump. The debate opened with David Muir asking Kamala Harris if Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago. But instead of answering the question, Kamala Harris claimed she was raised in a middle-class family and then went on to say she has a plan for Americans, but didn't provide details of that plan. Moderators didn't push back on this non-answer.
Not at all.
Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight often asks his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid.
Abortion and reproduction.
Middle-class kid. So? What does that have to do with the question? She didn't answer it. Not at all. She never answered it. But that's how she started. She didn't answer it.
Reproductive rights was also a major talking point in the debate where the moderators showed bias. Lindsay Davis presented a long-winded monologue on abortion designed to present Trump unfavorably instead of simply asking a question. Davis then falsely claimed there is no state it is legal to kill a baby after birth, despite VP pick Tim Walz's state of Minnesota, Colorado, and 4 other states allowing abortions right up until the moment of birth in the 9th month.
Okay. So this was a talking point that she is already comfortable with. So she knows what she's going to say. And they still gave her the answer. When she says Lindsay Davis literally did a whole monologue, she gave a monologue about Trump and then gave her the upper hand to then attack Trump. So you're essentially helping. Like, you're helping. How is this allowed? How is this not biased? Let me know in the comments. How is it not biased? Let me know in the chat. How is it not biased? I want to see it up and down. How is it not biased?
Walz also repelled a requirement to provide life-saving care to infants born alive after abortions, according to Charlie Kirk. Trump was then forced to press Harris on her stance on late-term abortions because the moderators refused to push for an answer from the VP.
You should ask, will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that
Why
question?
don't you
That's
answer the
problem.
question? Would you?
Commentators on X slammed the vice president and the moderators after this clear bias. Kamala Harris tried to interrupt Trump after he called her out on supporting defund the police, despite this being against the debate rules. The moderators did not stop her. Instead, it was up to Trump to use her own line against herself.
14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute. I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
The moderators have also been widely criticized for only fact-checking Donald Trump and not Kamala Harris. Muir also attempted to fact-check Trump on claims of animal cruelty in the immigrant community, which instantly backfired on him.
Verify here, you bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed.
And we're going to get into this later, but how do you ask Donald Trump about claims on Springfield? And you didn't ask that question. He brought it up. How do you fact check that? Oh, y'all, meaning ABC, had this already ready. Anything that he possibly may, they thought he may talk about, oh, they had it ready. They had it ready. But they don't have that smoke for Kamala. Okay.
Harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well,
All
I've
this-
seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
The people on television
this is
say my dog was taken and used for food.
Harris peddled the Charlottesville lie that was debunked by Snopes with absolutely no questioning by the moderators.
Oh, y'all don't have y'all sheets for that? Y'all didn't call Snopes like y'all called the city of Springfield? No? Okay.
And again, there was no fact-checking by the moderators when Harris pushed the also debunked January 6th bloodbath lie. Commentator Clay Travis blasted the moderators, saying, "Now the bloodbath lie too. No fact checks. This is shameful." And commentator Kaylee McEnany also unleashed on the moderators, demanding that they do their job and fact check. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene also ripped into the biased moderators, saying, "My phone is lighting up with non-stop messages about how extremely biased ABC is during this debate. ABC is a disgrace."
Okay. So that's my opening. It was a 3 versus 1. Okay. It was 3 versus 1. Because there is no way that he was supposed to be debating Kamala and he has to go back and forth with the moderators. Like, if Kamala wants to challenge something, that's fine. But why are the moderators going back and forth? And then if you're going to do this nonsense, how come you didn't do it for both? You didn't do it on the January 6th lie. You didn't do it on the find people on both sides that he was talking about neo-Nazis, which has already been, all you had. I did a video on that. I got shorts on it. Well, all I did was just watch the whole press conference. And right after he said there were fine people on both sides, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis. You know how Trump talks. I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis. I'm talking about, and he explains, he expounds all the way. But what does the media do? They just clip that one little piece and she repeated it. So to me, it's disingenuous. Like, you literally lied. Like, you lied. But they don't care about that. So that was my opening. That's my shots for the evening. Now we're going to move into the meat and potatoes. All right. We're going to move into the media on Trump and Harris's debate. Okay. We're going to move into what they really thought. We're going to move into how they really feel about everything. All right. So here we are, CNN and their thoughts after the debate. Here we go.
Let's get a fact check now of the debate. CNN senior reporter Daniel Dale was listening closely to both candidates. Daniel, what stood out to you?
Jake, what stood out was that this was a staggeringly dishonest debate performance from former President Trump. Just lie after lie on subject after subject. By my preliminary count, Jake, Trump made at least 33 false claims, 33. By contrast, by, again, a preliminary count, Vice President Harris made at least one false claim.
Trump made 33. Harris only made one. My God. My God, my God. One. Okay. All right. We just heard more than one, but CNN said only one. All right.
Claim, though she added at least a few misleading claims and a few more that lack key context. I think a lot of Americans say, well,
we're not going to skip past that. He said she made a few misleading claims. I looked misleading up. Misleading means false. So that means she lied as well. Misleading means false. And I just want to stress this. Misleading means something is false or gives the wrong impression. So that means this woman lied. Lord, but y'all going to sit here and say she didn't lie. Okay.
all politicians lie. No major presidential candidate before Donald Trump has ever lied with this kind of frequency. A remarkably large chunk of what he said tonight was just not true. And this wasn't like little exaggeration, political spin. A lot of his false claims were untethered to reality. On abortion, saying every Democrat wanted Roe v. Wade overturned, though actually more than 80% of Democrats supported Roe. On crime, saying it's through the roof, though it's actually sharply down since early 2023. It's now lower than it was since Trump left office. On healthcare, saying he's the one who saved Obamacare, the law he actually repeatedly tried to overturn. On Kamala Harris herself, saying that a Howard University grad, Black Law Students Association president, had claimed that she wasn't Black at one point. Frankly, I don't have enough time here to run through each specific Trump false claim. I urge people to go to our CNN website or our app to read our team's detailed fact checks on this and a whole bunch more. For now, though, let's dive into one false claim Trump made, an egregious claim about migrants supposedly eating people's pets.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
This is not only false, I think it's fair to call this odious. This, for people who have not been online in the last couple of days, this claim about migrants, Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio, eating people's pets originated with a Facebook post that...
No, it didn't. It originated from the actual people in the town. But we'll get there. Y'all gonna see it. Watch.
Attributed the claim to a neighbor's friend's daughter. So, a third-hand broken telephone kind of thing. The city of Springfield and the Springfield police say there are no credible reports of this happening. And even J.D. Vance, the vice presidential candidate who himself had promoted these claims, acknowledged this morning that the, quote, rumors might turn out false, although he still encouraged people to spread these cat memes. Now, I'll note that Trump himself added dogs to the equation. They had not even been part of these viral nonsense rumors before. Now, let's look at one false claim that Vice President Harris did make about the economic situation that the Biden-Harris administration was left by Trump.
The one false claim.
Let's talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess.
So the Biden-Harris administration was not actually left the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. They were left a 6.4% unemployment rate in January 2021. That was certainly elevated by recent standards, pretty high, but it was significantly down from the 14.8% level it reached early in the pandemic. So it was already improving.
It was already improving. So let's take what he just said there. So one, she lied. Okay. Let's just call it what it is. She lied. And they said she lied. But it was at 8. It went down to a 6. And that was because everybody was at home. Most people were not essential workers. So they didn't have no jobs. Everybody was at home. Everything was shut down. In 2020, it went to an 8. And he said, since the recession, she said since the Great Depression. Okay. So she's basically claiming, in 100 years. This hasn't happened. Ma'am, it just happened under Barack Obama. Oh, yeah. That's where he got a little sneaky, right? He kept saying, he said the recession. Well, who's the recession under, sir? Barack Obama, their favorite Democrat. Okay. He had high unemployment, right? And this was at no fault of a pandemic. People were losing their homes at record numbers. He gave all of the taxpayer money to the too big to fail banks. So let's be clear. Just like Kamala likes. Let's be clear. It has not been 100 years, man. It's only been one president away. This just happened. 2008, 9, all that. Okay? It was Barack Obama. Yeah, you can't get these people to tell the truth to save their life. He told a half truth, I guess.
At the time the Biden-Harris administration took office, and that 6.4% level was the highest since the Great Recession. So in the last 20 years, not going back decades further. Anderson?
Daniel, thanks very much.
And that's Barack Obama. The last 20 years. Sorry, you guys, I'm just getting over a cold. But the last 20 years would mean Barack Obama, which would be the Democrats. So there you have it right there, that they're extremely biased, okay? The media is extremely biased. You've now seen this video. You saw my video in my opening. And so now you have seen Kamala lie more than once. CNN says it's only once, but I've just showed a video where she's lied. And we're going to continue to keep going because we're going to dive into the claims of the media, right? So the media suggests that both Trump and Kamala both lied. However, Trump's lies are what they focus on, right? They didn't focus on Kamala at all. And they definitely didn't do it last night. They only focused on Trump. So I want to get into Trump first. Yep, fact check Trump. I want to get into Trump because at the end of the day, if we're gonna say we're fact checking, let's really fact check. Let's really call the facts, because depending on what facts you have in front of you will depend on if you're telling the truth or not. You know, with all this my truth stuff going on. So let's dive into that. Okay, so let's get into that. All right. So you just heard the media say that Trump lied about the Haitian migrants that are here in Springfield, Ohio, right? And that, you know, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, they're not eating animals, and that they got it from a Facebook fake post. No, they got it from Ohio residents. So we're going to fact check Trump right now. Okay. He said he saw it on TV. Well, what was he talking about? He was talking about residents of that town going down to the city who told, this is what the moderator said, right? We called the city manager and he said he had never heard none of this. Oh, really? Well, what about all these people right here? He never heard it? And it's a black man, okay? He never heard of him? All right, we'll see.
And into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into... they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got...
What else they doing?
A bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me tonight, FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to, like, seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them like
Hold on. They doing what?
up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them like.
So are you saying that they're eating animals? Because the media said that they were not eating animals. You see what I'm saying? The lies, like it's killing me. Like, that's why you got to have a red cup. I'm telling you. The media will drive you insane with what they lie about to protect the candidate that they like. They said that the city manager said that he had never heard of, they didn't get no claims, none of that. And Trump said, well, no. They said, no, the city manager said he's not getting any claims. It says right here. It says Springfield commissions meeting. Springfield City Commission's meeting. They're talking to public officials, preferably the city manager. Wow. Everybody's lying. Okay.
The homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard. And I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly. And last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move.
Oh, okay. So the residents said what? They're eating animals, ducks preferably, and other things. But you definitely don't have to take, you don't have to take my word, because my thing is I like to come with receipts. I like to go and look things up. Like when I tell y'all, when I get this red cup, I will sit right here all day, because we do this in the afternoon and evening, baby. So I could sit right here all day and just research. Twitter fingering it up. Google, all of that good stuff, and see what they're talking about. So here's the other thing. They said it was a Facebook posting, that they had never heard none of this stuff, right? I just gave you one. Well, we can give you another. Here you go.
Stand up. Put your hands behind your back.
This is body camera footage.
Someone got rubber gloves. She's covered in blood. So you have a right to remain silent on anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney if you can't afford one, won't be appointed to you at state's expense. You have a right to have that attorney present during any questioning.
What was
You have a
she
right
doing,
to stop
officer?
answering
Officer, what was she doing?
during any questions once they begin. Do you understand your rights?
We understand the rights. We want to know what was she doing, please.
Do you understand? Smile for me. Smile with your teeth. Go like this. Did you eat that cat?
Did she do what? What he asked her? Did she eat what?
Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Get in there. It's ridiculous.
Now,
So, what did she do? She ate a cat. And the locals called the police on her because she was in somebody's yard, right? And she was biting it. That's body camera footage. Okay? And just so they can prove what she was doing, they took pictures of it. She got blood all on her. She has blood on her mouth. That's why he told her to smile. so he can take pictures of that. Like, why is this such a point of contention? This is happening. Like, this is happening. They don't want you to know that it's happening, but it is. These are little small towns that nobody cares about, and they just throw migrants here, right? Or they throw illegals here, but it's happening. Oh no, y'all getting Red Cup tonight because this was ridiculous. Because the moderators, oh my god, no, we call it the city, but you call the city and they lie, just like you are. Because let's be clear, as much as people don't like these so-called journalists, they have the means, and trust and believe they know the truth. They're just gaslighting us. Right? They could not. They could say no. We're going to tell the truth, right? They could say we're going to show you what was said, and let's debate that. But no, they choose to say that it never happened, right? And then the city doesn't want to be liable for certain things, so the city's lying. But it's on. Like, I'm so glad for like body camera footage. I'm so happy that we have a lot of footage in these public places because the residents were asking. But you don't have to take my word. So we can move to another point. They got on Trump about talking about late term abortions, right? So late-term abortions are abortions when the child is viable, especially in the third trimester. Okay? Y'all keep letting these people tell you it's just a clump of cells. A clump of cells happens the first week. Okay? By literally the excuse me. By literally the I want to say second to third week, and definitely by a month, you now have what's called a fetus. But guess what's in that fetus? A heartbeat. Now, in the hospitals, if your heart stops, you are clinically dead. So, if your heart is beating, you are clinically alive. Like, I don't get why this is so hard, right? And to me, even though I'm not for abortions, right? To me, the smart thing would be, if you're going to get one, to get one in the earliest stage, and preferably, in the first 6 weeks, because by the time you get up to a month and a half, you now have nervous system, you now have a heartbeat, you now have your brain functioning, right? Like, forming. So you had the components of life already. What's wrong with these people? They make it seem like abortion is nothing, right? And I do understand getting one for incest, the R word, and getting it in the case of where the mother's life is at risk, because I understand all of that. Like, I'm a woman. But what I don't understand is recreational abortions. Like, I seen a reel one time, and a girl was like, she's walking through, some pro-lifers, and they're at the clinic, and she's like, nah, I'm aborting this baby. It's swimming in Casamigos. Oh, y'all think I'm BSing? Here we go. Just so nobody thinks, I'm BSing. Here we go.
Bitch, I'm like, they finna harass me the minute I walk up in here. Nor do I give a fuck.
So she's already on 10. She's already on 10. She doesn't care. She doesn't have a care in the world about this young life, about this young.
And I'm sorry for all the stuff in the back. This is not my video, but this is the quickest I could find. just to show you what I was talking about. Because again, when we Red Cupping, we need receipts because y'all be in the comments. Do you have an article for that? Okay, there you go.
Baby that she is bent on. She is determined to destroy that young child's life.
Play the video.
Oh, let's continue.
Be able to save the life of this baby.
The process is trying to convict her soul into telling her, listen, don't do this. We're trying to save this child's life right now.
She's like,
The baby has a mission.
The baby been swimming in Casamigos. I gotta go.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that there's so many.
This the ignorance.
So y'all just heard it. The baby's been swimming in Casamigos. Okay. Y'all okay with that? The baby's been swimming in Casamigos. That's a recreation. That's a recreational abortion. There's nothing wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with her. She's fine. She's not about to lose her life. Okay. She hasn't been AR'd. And this is not incest. She said this baby is swimming in Casamigo. It's gotta go. That means she was reckless, sleeping with whoever, and now she just wants to get rid of the baby. Like, y'all be caping for the worst type of people and the worst type of things. Like, and she put it on live like it was fine, like it was all right. Like, come on, y'all. But I digress. We're gonna move on to what I want to show on this abortion topic. Minnesota. Tim already has Minnesota issues with late-term abortions. So the White House, this is the video. The White House made a statement. Actually, it was Kamala, but they made a statement, saying, well, I'll just play it.
The White House was watching. Vice President Kamala Harris applauded Walz for signing the bill, calling it an example of state governments stepping up to protect reproductive health care for women. The bill drew activists on both sides to the Capitol and passed this month with only DFL votes. Republicans lobbied Walz up to the last minute to veto the measure. They say Democrats overstepped with a law that imposes no new restrictions on when an abortion can be performed.
We are enacting the most extreme bill in the country.
The governor waved off the critics.
My pro tip advice is when you're in a hole, quit digging. Listen to Minnesotans. They were very clear on this issue where they spoke.
Democrats are not done. House Speaker Melissa Hortman says that 2 more abortion bills will come to the House floor for votes within the next 2 weeks. One of them would repeal some of Minnesota's existing abortion restrictions, including the state's 24-hour waiting period that a judge struck down as unconstitutional last year. The other one would give legal protections to abortion providers and to women who come here seeking abortions from states where abortion is illegal. Randy?
All right, Theo, thank you.
So you have Tim, who's dealing with this right now. So Kamala is very aware of the fight with the pro-lifers on late-term abortions, right? So the people that are pro-lifers, they want to have restrictions on abortions. And this is keeping it at a state level, right? This is what it looks like, right? And so I'm just going to say Trump was right. Give it to the states. Now, you don't have to like what comes from the states, but if this is what the people are voting for, okay, this is what the people are voting for. It's the people, at least, and it's not the federal government. So let the state fight it out, which is what they're doing, right? But here's the thing. They are dealing with those restrictions. So she knows this stuff. Like, she knows it. And so I don't know why we have to keep going back and forth, right? But the last point I want to make on the whole abortion topic is the abortion ban, okay? She said that Trump supports an abortion ban, a national abortion ban, after the man had already said that he does not support an abortion ban. And she said that he doesn't support she said he doesn't support IVF. That's what it was. IVF. She said he doesn't support it. That he would make it harder for people to have babies. Well, the internet is a great place because there's videos and articles for everything you said that somebody else said. So let's see exactly what Trump said about that topic. All right. So I just want y'all to see this right here. This says April 8th, 2024. Okay. Well, what does Trump say about the abortion policy? Let's hear what he says about his abortion policy.
Under my leadership, the Republican Party will always support the creation of strong, thriving, and healthy American families. We want to make it easier for mothers and families to have babies, not harder. That includes supporting the availability of fertility treatments like IVF in every state in America.
You support what? Kamala said you don't support no IVF? What you talking about?
Like the overwhelming majority of Americans, including the vast majority of Republicans, conservatives, Christians, and pro-life Americans, I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious baby. What could be more beautiful or better than that?
Sir, Kamala said that you were trying to make it harder for people who are trying to have a baby. You're trying to make it harder. This is in April. What's wrong with y'all? This is in April. And they said on a presidential debate and said that this man said that he is going to ban abortions and that he does not support IVF. Lord.
Today, I'm pleased that the Alabama legislature has acted very quickly and passed legislation that preserves the availability of IVF in Alabama. They really did a great and fast job. The Republican Party should always be on the side of the miracle of life and the side of mothers, father, their beautiful babies, and that's what we are. IVF is an important part of that, and our great Republican Party will always be with you in your quest for the ultimate joy in life. Many people have asked me what my position is on abortion and abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade. They wanted it ended. It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month. The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable, and almost everyone agrees with that. My view is now that we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, the states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state. Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people. You must follow your heart, or in many cases, your religion or your faith. Do what's right for your family and do what's right for yourself. Do what's right for your children. Do what's right for our country and vote. So important to vote. At the end.
Wait, Trump, you're not saying that if somebody wants to have abortion, do what's right for you, do what's right for your family, but just leave it to the states. You're not really saying that, are you? Child.
End of the day, it's all about will of the people. That's where we are right now, and that's what we want, the will of the people. I want to thank the 6 justices, Chief Justice John Roberts.
So here's the thing. Here is the thing. Y'all keep saying Trump is lying. But I just gave you all of that, especially on abortion. I just gave you all of that. The man did not support a ban. He literally said, give it to the states. And that's what he did. I showed you Walz. Tim Walz going through it right now. The state voted on it. The will of the people. What is the problem with that? What is the problem with that? Nothing. Kamala said he wanted to get rid of IVF. Where? That's not what this says. I want to get into my last point here on Trump. Okay. So here's CNN checking a congresswoman at the DNC about Project 2025. Kamala Harris has on her website that it is Trump's Project 2025. It literally says Trump's Project 2025, which is, as CNN likes to call it, misleading. It's false. It's incorrect. It's wrong. It's downright egregious, but I digress. Here is, though, CNN checking them.
Listen to this claim from Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester of Delaware about Project 2025 and former President Trump.
He has, with his friends, said the quiet parts out loud, but not only said them out loud, he wrote a book about it.
He wrote
What's it called? Project 2025.
That is false. Trump did not write.
It's what? It's false. Oh, okay.
Project 2025, the project's big policy document published by the Heritage Foundation think tank, lists dozens of people as authors, editors, contributors. Donald Trump is not among them.
People. So it's false. So Project 2025 is not Donald Trump's. He didn't write it. She told that to millions watching. She told that to all those people there in Chicago. She's a liar. And so is Kamala, because it's on her website. Like, it's literally on Kamala's website. Right? And I'm just going to pull it up real quick, because I can't, like, I can't understand for the life of me how nobody at the debate pushed back on that. Like, they let her sit there and say that. And I'm just like, y'all know it's wrong. Y'all know it's wrong. So I'm going to share my screen to, let y'all see this. So here's her little rundown of her plan. What does that say? Trump's Project 2025. That's what it says. Okay. Well, again, CNN just told you that it's not Trump's. So what we doing, y'all? We allowing this woman just to say anything. That lady said anything at the convention, and now here's this. So what we doing? This is egregious. Like, it is egregious. Y'all gonna say something or what? Nah. All right, cool. So I just wanted to show y'all that real quick, because sometimes if you don't show the receipts, then you're just lying. You're just lying. That was the receipt. Okay. So I'm off Trump. I'm off Trump at this point. The main points that they said he lied about, I literally pulled all the receipts. He said he saw the people on TV with the Haitians. I pulled that receipt. They said he was for abortion ban. I pulled that receipt. They said he doesn't support IVF. I pulled that receipt. What we doing? They said Project 2025 is his. I pulled that receipt. CNN even said it ain't his. Y'all gonna get Red Cup sooner or later, but I digress. So now we're gonna move on to y'all's favorite person, Miss Kamala. Okay. Yeah. We don't have no lies for Kamala. She only lied once. What y'all talking about? She lied one time. Mika, please. All right, so we're gonna get into Kamala here. She only lied once, but we're gonna show the truth. So that's all right. So we're gonna start with Kamala's first thing that everyone is talking about, fracking. Okay. Kamala said she told y'all in 2020. And she's been consistent and she did not lie. And this is what's on record. Let's hear it.
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States. And in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking.
All right. That is what she said last night. She said she's always been for fracking, that she made that clear in 2020, and that she would not get rid of fracking, yada, 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 right? You heard that. I heard that. So the right thing to do would be able to be able to, make sure we're fair here, is to go back and see what she said in 2020, right? Okay, so what she said?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So
what? No, I gotta run it back.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So yes, and starting with what we can do on day one around public lands, right? And then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California. I have a history of working on this issue. And to your point, that we have to just acknowledge that the residual impact of fracking is enormous in terms of the impact on the health and safety of communities. Yeah.
She just told the people of Pennsylvania that she told y'all in 2020 she supported fracking. This is a CNN town hall in what year? What does that say? 2020. And what did you say, ma'am?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Man, look. I don't know what y'all be on, but all you gotta do is just look it up. Like, oh, that Twitter fingers. Let me see what you actually said. That's all you have to do. But you don't do it. Because you want to believe whatever you want to believe. I don't care if it's Trump, Mitt Romney, Kamala, Obama. Okay, I'm going to go see what you said. And since they made such a big deal about all those Trump issues we just went over, I said, let me go see what Trump said, even though most of them I already knew. I said, let me go look it up. And it was a lie. He said exactly what he said on the debate stage. Hey, I saw this on the news, and the people were talking about what they experienced in the city of Springfield. Oh, by golly, I found them talking to the city of Springfield residents saying exactly what Trump said. So what I'm saying is, what is going on here? Like, what is going on? Project 2025. Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't write it. Yeah. She puts it on her website. They say it at the convention. What are we doing? Okay. But I'm just I'm just a Trump supporter, like they like to call me. So anywho, we're gonna move on to one of the next things because we've already done the IVF, we've already done Project 2025. So the border, okay. Kamala likes to say that she's been tough on people at the border and she's the only one that has done all of this grandiose stuff of catching gang members and all this other stuff, right? Okay, cool. That's fine. So we're going to look at what she's touting right now, and then we're going to go backwards. So this is one of Kamala Harris's newest campaign ads.
The K-File team scoured Kamala Harris's tweets and statements going all the way back to 2017. And what they found was more than 50 instances of Harris slamming Trump's border wall. But now, new Harris campaign ads actually showcase that very wall.
As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border.
Whose wall is that? That's literally Trump's wall. Look at that. You see those right there? So Trump had those installed. So like when they jump over, they can, they can get caught or something. I forget what it is, but that was like the new thing he added to, for more protections on the border, on a border wall. But that's Trump's wall right there. So in her ad, she decided to use Trump's wall to talk about what she did as a prosecutor. But she don't like that wall. You can't make this stuff up. I swear to goodness.
And on top of critical tweets, Harris also wrote in her 2019 book, quote, "There was a bigger reason to oppose the border wall. A useless wall on the southern border would be nothing more than a symbol, a monument standing in opposition to not just everything I value, but to the fundamental values upon which this country was built. How could I vote to build what would be little more than a monument designed to send the cold, hard message, keep out?"
So you called out this president for a border wall. You literally said in your book that you don't support it, that you didn't vote for it, and that it wasn't your value. But then you turn around in your new campaign ad and say, "Hey, I've done this. As a prosecutor, I was tough on crime at the border. Just look at the border." And then show the border wall that you said you wasn't for. And then proceed to talk about the border and man, you cannot make this up. This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Like, I don't understand how y'all go along with this stuff. It makes no sense to me, because if you're going to say that it's Trump's fault, the border is Trump's fault. That's what she said on the debate, that the border is Trump's fault, and he killed the bill. He killed the bill that could have stopped all of this this illegal immigration from happening. Ma'am, you just said that you thought that bill, that the border wall was egregious. And why would you vote for it when it means that you're saying keep out? So you didn't want them to be out in the first place. Like, stop playing with us. Like, stop playing with us. We can read. We can see. Like, what is she talking about? You just said that. That's what you just said. You said it in your book. So you didn't want to keep them out. So which one is it? Like, this woman flip-flops so much, I got a headache. Like, y'all not gonna call on it. And they didn't call on it last night when she said, oh, Donald Trump killed the bill and yada, 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 because he didn't want it to benefit. Ma'am, he was already doing the wall. Y'all didn't want the wall. The Democrats didn't want the wall. Y'all didn't want to fund it anymore. Like, this is not 1,000 years ago. We can remember, and we have footage. So at the end of the day, you didn't want it at first, but now that it's going to affect you in the election, and now that people are actually pushing back on it, Black people in Chicago are pushing back on it. Black people in New York are pushing back on it. And that leads me to the last thing, migrant crime. She said that it's a fallacy, that, I don't know what he's talking about. Migrant crime is up. Crime is up in general, especially in the inner cities. New York, crime is up. Chicago, crime is up. DC, crime is up. What is she talking about? California, like all of this. And even illegal immigrants are saying you need to vet these people coming over. You know it's bad when the people that are illegally coming over are telling you that you need to vet some of the illegals. Like, come on, y'all. Like, we have to be, we got to start being logical about all of this. Like, we got to. So with that, I'm going to move into what I call last call. Okay. We've been here, what, an hour? Yeah. So I'm going to call this last call. And this is just what I want to say. Y'all know that what's going on is wrong. Y'all know it's wrong. Illegal immigration is wrong. It's hurting poor folks, white and Black. It's literally like migrant crime is up. Like, one of the videos I wanted to show on migrant crime, I don't even want to show because it's a R of an 11-year-old. And the crazy part about it is the little girl was a migrant or illegal immigrant. It didn't matter. One of the ones that just got through that didn't vet did what he did to her. So when you look at it all, you can clearly see that there's an agenda here. Clearly. What are we going to do about it? Like, what are we as a nation going to do about it? Nothing? Like we've been doing? Or are you going to stand up and say, stop lying to me, stop telling me stuff that I know for a fact I can look up and see that you're lying about? CNN, I'm going to keep hounding this point. CNN says she lied one time. $1 million. One time. When I showed y'all that she lied more than that. So at the end of the day, this debate was unfair. That's pretty much my final thoughts. Like, Donald Trump couldn't win if he tried. I gotta fight 1, 2, and 3. Come on. I'm winning that. I'm not. But he knew that he wasn't gonna win. He knew it. Y'all knew it too. Y'all just wanted to see him get beat up. Y'all are like mean girls. Y'all just wanted to see him get beat up, and have to be combative because he started off really good. But in my last call here, I'm going to play what I think was the best thing through the whole night that gave her a checkmate. It definitely did. It gave her a checkmate.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like we're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
He literally summed up the whole debate and what we're really doing. Because at the end of the day, y'all know who y'all voting for already. Y'all know who y'all voting for. Whether it's Donald Trump or Kamala. Even the people in the middle. Okay? Know who you're voting for already. You already know. But he posed the question. Excuse me. He posed the question. Why hasn't she done it? Why hasn't she done it? Because she's not going to. Just like most people of color think she's going to do something specifically for them. Specifically Black people. She's not going to do it. And she told you she wasn't going to do it. She's showing you what she's not going to do. She has power. I think some of y'all don't know civics. She has power. The vice president can do many things, which she has stated on the debate. She was talking about herself. So that tells me she has power to do things. She just chooses not to do certain things. So it is what it is. But what you guys have to be logical about is when people are not telling you the truth. And that lady, VP Kamala Harris, and the two moderators, they think we're stupid. Like they really think we're stupid. Like we can't look this stuff up. CNN thinks we're stupid. One lie, and some misleading. Stop it. That woman lied. But they're going to protect her. And Trump just has to deal with that. I mean, it's the reality. So where I'm with it is I'm going to be fine regardless, right? Like I'm fine regardless. But there are others who won't be. And how you vote, you're going to have to face the consequence of your actions. If you thought the last 4 years was nuts, wait until you elect that lady, VP Kamala Harris. But let me know what y'all thought about everything I showed. because I'm really not trying to sway anybody, but I'm just showing you the facts. You want a fact check? We can fact check. I'm going to just pull it up. That's all I'm going to do. Nothing more, nothing less. You vote for who you vote for. Like, we can go back and forth, but I really don't care. Vote for who you want to vote for. But you got to stay informed. And really, the conversation y'all should be having is, why lie? Just run on your record. Why lie? Just tell the truth about the other candidate. Show them how you're better. You're going to lie because you can't really beat them. So why not just jump them? I'm going to leave it there. It's your girl, Pop Culture Mika. I appreciate everyone for watching. As always, ways to support, ways to give. Officially Mika on Cash App. $ officially Mika on Cash App. I thank everybody for watching.